I decided to give the Series X another chance. Let's talk about it. Now, growing up, I had both consoles, PS3, Xbox 360, and then I got an Xbox One on day one. I didn't really use it as much just because there was no games. I know my friends were on 360 still, but throughout, my gaming career, I've always switched between. Now, when the new Series X and S consoles dropped, I managed to get a good deal on the Series S a few months after launch, and I played a lot of Forza on that thing. Now, around the same time of me picking up the Series S, I managed to grab a 4K TV. And although the Series S did upscale to 4K, I wanted a true 4K experience. So after walking into a local retailer of mine, I found a Series X for a decent deal, I'll say, and I picked it up. I was playing the console for a while, but then eventually I just stopped using it and went back to my PS5, as I felt there was no wow factor. I'd already played a lot of Forza, I put the hours in, and I was bored. I didn't find myself using the console as much. I eventually sold the Series X as it just wasn't getting used and it was collecting dust, and I went back to playing PS5 and PC. Now I've really been wanting to play one of my favourite games again, Fable 3. And I kind of had two options. I either buy the game on PC for a ridiculous price, or I grab another Xbox and I play it on there. So I caved in and I bought another Series X. And then this made me realise the best features of this console are not the exclusives, but some of the other features the console has. Like not only playing a vast variety of 360 games and Xbox original games, but also improving them by giving them FPS boosts and upscaling them to 4K, which was one of the factors of Fable 3. I could play the game at 4K 60, and this is the best the game has ever looked in my eyes. Not to mention, Game Pass has improved so much now, having games like Bolt Gun, Dead Island 2, Diablo 4, Ark Survival Ascended, Far Cry 6. But let's talk about some of the exclusives you do find on Xbox. I'm going to start off with Starfield. So Starfield's good, and it doesn't deserve a lot of the hate that it gets. I think the reason why people hated on this game is because they were comparing it to No Man's Sky. But I'm about 20 hours in, I've got a few more missions of the campaign left, I believe, and the game's good. It kind of feels like a mod for Skyrim or Fallout, which I don't really like that Bethesda are still using this style of games design. But the game is good, the story's good, the characters are good. I like how much customization you have with the outposts, and it just actually got an update on the Series X and S. I think the game just got an update itself where you can now run it at 60 FPS on Series X, and you can now customize your ship, and a lot of things got added to do with the difficulty. But the game's good, the game is really good. The thing is with it is people were comparing it to No Man's Sky, and if you forget about all the bad reviews, don't compare it to No Man's Sky, you'll have a lot of fun with this game. And that's I think why I'm enjoying it, because I've gone into it with just an open mind. I weren't gonna listen to what people are saying. I weren't gonna really watch any reviews on it, and I weren't gonna compare it to No Man's Sky. And if you play it like that, this game is really fun. Then of course you got Forza Horizon 5, a game that I love. I did do the glitch when the game first came out, the Goliath glitch. That's probably a 10th of my playtime. I got bored of doing it, but I do really enjoy Forza Horizon 5. It'll never live up to Forza Horizon 4, but I think that's just because I'm from the UK, so seeing all the road signs and stuff like that kind of made me happy. I also played a bit of Forza Motorsport, and the game isn't bad, but like I said, it's on Game Pass, so I can't really complain. It's not as good as 7 in my opinion, and it's nowhere near as good as Gran Turismo, but it's good. And I was really happy to find Time Splitters Future Perfect and Time Splitters 2 on here, which is great because these are two of my favourite games from that generation. I also managed to play Fable 2 and Fable 1 for the first time, which I never actually played back when I had the 360 and my original Xbox One. I actually got around to playing these games now because they were on Game Pass. But Game Pass has also showed me a lot of games that I wouldn't have ever played that now I've actually got access to. I've been wanting to play Warhammer 40,000 Bolt Gun for a while. It's been sat on my Steam wishlist for a bit of time now. And it was on Game Pass and I played it. Lego 2K Drive. I've kind of had my eyes on it since it came out, but I couldn't justify paying for it. It was on Game Pass and I've actually played it and I kind of like it. Of course, we've got Party Animals. This is great for when you want to play with the boys. I've had a good few moments on this game. It's great. Let's talk about some accessories. The Series X allows you to use Xbox One controllers, Xbox Elite controllers, the new controllers. If it's an Xbox One controller and beyond, you can use it on here. As of recording this, I've just ordered the wireless headset. I'll probably do a review of it at some point. Any headset with a 3.5mm jack or any of the old Xbox wireless headsets, we'll say, because they don't use Bluetooth, they use their own protocol. Any of those old Turtle Beach headsets, they'll work fine on this. Any Xbox One accessories work on this just fine. I'll tell you an accessory that doesn't work though, and that's the Kinect. But who cares? If you're a live streamer, I guess you're gonna have to take an L on this one. For the 5 people who like those 10 Kinect games, I'm sorry, you're gonna have to keep your Xbox One for those ones. But yeah, I love this controller. It's not too different to the Xbox One controller like the DualSense and DualShock 4. Apart from having a share button, it's a tad bit smaller, which I actually like, and the D-pad is much better. Now, one thing I do like about Xbox consoles are the dashboards. They're always nice and easy to get around. They do change them like probably every 5 minutes. The current one is really nice. Not as many adverts on the screen anymore. It's easy to navigate. Now, side by side with PS5, these consoles are very different. I feel like the Xbox is just trying to become a brand and putting their games on everything and not really keeping things exclusive anymore. They just want people in on Xbox playing their games. We'll take Sea of Thieves for example. I could have a 3-man squad on that game. One guy could be on PS5, one guy could be on PC, and I could be on Xbox, and we're all playing the game. Happy days. Same with Minecraft. Minecraft's on everything that has a screen these days. I could have a full Minecraft lobby. One guy could be on Android, one guy could be on Switch, iPhone, Xbox One, Xbox Series X, PS5, PS4, PC, the list goes on. Although PlayStation does have those rich story games, I feel like Xbox kind of has more replayable exclusives like Forza. You can play this game for 5 years straight and you won't get bored. Now, could I recommend the Xbox Series X? I'm going to say yeah, for 2 reasons. Say if you're on a PlayStation and you're a big PlayStation guy, I don't want an Xbox, that's fine. But what I'm going to tell you about this console is it's really good for playing older games such as 360 games and a few Xbox original games. Not only does it just play them, it plays them better. I can play Skate 3 with HDR. This game doesn't have a frame boost, but it does have 4K and it looks amazing. Not to mention Game Pass. Game Pass is such a big seller. And not only can you use Game Pass on your phone, you can use it on your Meta Quest, you can use it on your PC, and you get to play online with it as well for just a small fee a month. Well, I say small, it's actually just gone up. Game Pass isn't a bad deal if you've got that versatility where you're going to use it on a Quest, a phone, and your PC as well. It is actually a good deal if you've got PC as well. But you've also got Game Pass Core, which is essentially just online multiplayer, and you get 24 games with it. They're not amazing games. I think the best one on there is probably Forza Horizon 4. But this replaced Game Pass Gold a few months Xbox Live Gold a few months ago. And essentially, you don't get the games with Gold anymore. You know, the 2 games you got a month. Instead, you just get this small catalogue of games, which is great for the price. And, if you buy a lot of physical games, this is a nice little touch. Now, if you're planning on buying a new Xbox, I'm going to call this the 3-tier system. You've got the Xbox Series S, Y, 512 gigs. This is great for someone who just wants to play FIFA, play a bit of Fortnite, play a bit of COD, and that's great. You've got your 3 games on there. You've got your SSD, which is nice and fast. You don't have ray tracing, you don't have a disk drive. You can play at 4040p 120. It's a great console for competitive games on a monitor. But then you've also got the Black Series S, which is 1TB. Same features as the original Series S, but you've got 1TB, so now you can install more games. This is great for if you you play on a monitor, but you also like playing your story games as well. You like playing more games on Game Pass apart from the competitive games. You know what I mean? You can install more games basically. And then of course you've got the Series X. You want to play at 4K, you want to use ray tracing, you want to use a disk drive. You still get the 1TB of space. You can do 4040p, you can do 120, 4K. This is essentially the best of the best when it comes to Xbox. And in terms of the membership, it's completely up to you. Are you going to use all the games on Game Pass Ultimate? Or are you just more fussed about multiplayer and are you going to buy your own games? With Game Pass Ultimate as well, you also get EA Play, which is essentially the membership that EA created where you get most of the EA games. You don't really get the new sports games such as FC24 until like halfway through the year. Now, I've had a PS5 most of this generation, and these consoles are completely different. The Xbox is great for playing all the titles in a better way and playing games on Game Pass and trying to find something new, whereas the PlayStation is great for amazing story games, and maybe you might get PS Plus Extra and play some games on there. Maybe you might get PS Plus Premium and play some of the retro titles on there and stream some PS3 games. But if you're a fan of playing older games in the best way possible, the Xbox Series X and S are great. My friend just got a Series X. He's a PlayStation guy, so let's get his opinion on it.
So I'm Ash, I'm Dill's friend, and I bought an Xbox Series X about a month to a month and a half ago. Before this, I was an avid PlayStation user. I'd had an Xbox 360 around when I was 7 up until like 2017, but I got a PS4, so I got rid of the Xbox 360, and since 2017, I've only ever owned a PS4, a PS4 Pro, and a PS5. So with never having touched the newer generations of Xbox consoles, that being the One and Series consoles, this was a completely unbiased scenario for me. What made me want to buy the Xbox Series X was a multitude of reasons, ranging from the quality of life features like quick resume, backwards compatibility, etc., but also the aesthetic of the console itself, which was one of 2 reasons why I bought the Series X over the S. That, and I like physically owning my games, so the disc drive was kind of a no-brainer. Another massive part of it was Game Pass Ultimate. Just like the vast variety of games that you could just install and play straight away just blew my mind. Game Pass Ultimate has introduced me to games that I never knew about and games that I love. Shadow Warrior 3 is absolutely phenomenal. Like, I absolutely love that game, and I never even heard of it before I got the Series X. I realized after getting Game Pass Ultimate, like, PS Plus has nothing on Game Pass. The last point I'll leave you with is the graphical capabilities. Every game on this console looks absolutely phenomenal. Persona 3 Reload, for example, is absolutely stunning at 4K 120Hz, and I felt like I was kind of missing out on some of these games at the highest qualities. Alright, I've talked enough. I'm going to hand it back to Dill. Thank you for your time.
But that's my opinion on the Series X after giving it a second chance. But yeah, Microsoft, please let me play PGR3 on this thing, and let me pick what dashboard I want, man.